Alrighty, hello everybody, I'm your host, the Unyielding, and today we are back with episode 3 of IRONLIGHTS Masterclass. We are going to be doing the Reaper class today. So, class description here, Grim Heavy Scythe that cuts through any defense. This thing is pretty weighty, and it gets by defense very easily. Very weighty, but swift. It's pretty fast once you pick up the speed with it. Right hand's almost impossible to evade. That is very, very true. Not built for defense. This is a pretty glass cannon-based class. It has this shield bar, but as it says, it can only take so much punishment, so if it does break, it doesn't have a minimum. So if this shield gets broken, you have nothing but the blade, which is a little bit bad, so you gotta focus on blocking with both the blade and the shield bars. So let's go hop into training, and we will get started. So we're going to first go over your kind of playstyle that you'll be seeing with Reaper. What you really need to focus on is your opponent's energy and your own energy. Because this is a glass cannon class, you cannot afford to be charging up as much as you usually would. But you also need to be very opportunistic on your opponent's energy. Especially when your opponent charges up. That's where you'll see big, 1,000 damage hits coming through and kind of chunking through there. And I'm going to go turn on damage numbers really quickly, just so that I can, help show you guys a little bit. But you'll really be going for those big damage hits. So going in here, so your leg hits will do about 200. Torso, do about 300. About 300 there, and headshots will do about 500. So 2, 3, 5. And as you can see, 500 is very good for something that's getting hits in that quickly, and with this much reach around. Reach around is one of the fun terms of this game. Essentially, how far your weapon, or really how far any weapon is able to get around your opponent's defense. And as you can see, the way Reaper is set, it's not like your other classes like Knight where you'll be attacking from the front or trying to get around both sides with your own reach around. It's all around their body. It's nothing at the front, just everything is going around their guard. So it can make this a little bit of a tricky class to fight. So let's go over some range checks real quick. Reaper's range check, hold down the trigger, get a beam of light. When this little center beam hits this beam here, it will go off and shoot 3 blades. You can just tap this as well, so just tap the trigger, flip, that'll send it around. Some other little tricks, if you hold it down above their head, can bring it down, hold it up there, it applies pressure. What you can also do, you don't have to keep it in that one position, you can move it around. As long as this beam is not crossing this beam, you are good to move it wherever you want to. So you can set up combos like this, where you bring it down from this earlier set one, and then tap from here. So, other ones you can do, basic up, down, diagonals. I know you can do some 3-piece combos like that, or you can do some longer 4-piece combos. Also tap in the same direction to bring some more out, so you can do something like that, kind of bring on some other pressure. Can also combo that with these other ones, and you can also bring them out to the sides, or bring them behind you for your offense. So you see that comes in pretty late and gets off 3 pretty good hits, but 600 damage there is what you can at the most get. Let's go over melee now. Range isn't too complicated. Don't throw it out too much because it is pretty costly on energy, so I wouldn't recommend it. Kind of spamming it, but just when you can. It's very good at applying pressure on the opponent, just to have them uneasy. So yeah, we'll go over some of the melee stuff real quick. Like I was saying, very good for getting around their guards. very fast, so you're able to maneuver it quite quickly. Go turn on that unlimited energy. So, on your offense here, the main way you'll be swinging it is this kind of circling motion. It's really just this motion. Kind of keeping your hands in this static position. That is your main way. And what you'll be doing is keeping this hand mostly still, but you'll be pushing this hand forwards so that your blade goes above their guard, comes back, and you pull it back once it gets closer to you so that it doesn't hit your body. If you just hold it out the whole time, you see I take damage there. We don't want that, so push and pull. So basically, push. It's just that faster motion. It's kind of like that. Imagine like pulling a rope, kind of. Something like that. Some more of the offense stuff you do. Once you get this hand, changing directions is pretty simple. Just imagine it like swinging an actual scythe. You kind of go from that basic windmill motion here, and you switch to an actual scythe-like movement. So basically, just swinging like that. And of course you have your harvesting. That is another Reaper term here. That is just swinging it back and forth. Basically this hand's a little bit anchored, kind of angling it, and you need to back up. But you're really just moving this hand here to get some quick hits in. Another one of the little mix-ups you can do is when you are doing something like this. What you want to do, have your hand something like this, you'll bring it so that when you come around from this hit, you're turning it so it goes back the way you want it, curves back around their guard. That'll basically hit from up there, then crouch down a little bit, and then you can get a headshot through here, so it looks like something like this. It's usually a little bit faster in most games. It'll be something like that, actually. Just like hit, I'll swing back down. A better way of explaining it is doing your low swing like this. You'll basically do it like that. Come through, and you'll twist it something like that. So twist above, basically your goal is to swing up, recharge, and then swing back down immediately after. It's a very quick follow-up. You see your big 200 damage hit down here, and then you can immediately follow up with your 500. Again, super good if they got vulnerability. So, let's go over some feints real quick. I know this part's pretty fun with Reaper. People fall for this one all the time, all the time. Always see people getting hit by this one. Basically, bob it down, pretend like you're going low, and then swing high. It is incredibly fast. Most people try and bring it down, but with how Reaper is to block, a little bit difficult, it tends to be kind of hard to block this feint in particular. Just bob down, and then swing up. Bob down, swing up. Bob down, swing up. Bob and swing. So basically, you're going down just like this, literally just like this. You don't need to tilt it or anything, just bob and swing. Do that, and then your windmill. So bob, push forwards, windmill. Simple as that. It's not as good when you're doing it from the side, but it's still plenty effective. I mean, you can really kind of tilt it at a 45-degree angle, make it look like you're going to come in through here, and what you can do is just curve it like that, kind of. So just come in, sweep it from the side. And the other good thing about this class on your offense, see their little denting and stuff there, their colors fading. That's your repeat hit mechanic. If you hit a spot more times, more damage you'll do. So if there's a spot you're not defending, keep hitting it. Your damage will increase just by hitting that one spot alone here. So I'm just doing the shoulder. Just doing the shoulder here. And it's now bumped up to headshot level damage just from hitting that one spot by itself. That used to be 300, it's doing 500 damage now. It should be most of the offense for Reaper. Again, you can do this on the other side as well. It's usually more comfortable to do on your dominant side. There are also guard breaking techniques. If I can pick Samurai here, I think it'll work on here. Have them defend. Basically, your guard breaks for Reaper will be bending down a little bit so you can angle your refresh hitbox, and you'll just push it forward slightly. Because of how the hitbox is, it can recharge from here, but you can hit from here. So hit and it'll recharge right there. So basically you can get a quick hit off just by tapping and pushing. So tap, push, tap, push, tap, push. Just something like that. And you can do that from any angle. Best on the top section, but it can work for all the other areas too. Alright. Now we've got our defense. Reaper defense is more oriented for the blade. You really want your shield to be the backup. As you can see with my Reaper, what I usually do is keep a basic standing like this. I'll have my blade angled and we'll turn it if they start tagging from here. But I will mostly be blocking like this, as you can see. Just blocking like that, turning a little bit if I need to. If they're attacking from one other side, you can also spin it. That'll also work for blocking some of those attacks, but you really don't want to move the scythe too much when you're defending. The only time where this would be an exception is when you're fighting classes that need you to block more than once. So this wouldn't apply to a Duelist or Crusader. Crusader is actually a different matchup. I'll talk about that in a sec. But classes like Duelist, Samurai, Dragoon, other Reapers, you won't really need to spin it as much when you're fighting them. Classes like Knight, you will. Again, they have two blades, and your one blade isn't going to block that. And you can't just let them hit your shield bars because it'll degrade really quickly. So you do have to end up spinning it a little bit more when you're playing the Reaper versus Knight and everything. These spots are too good offensively, so basically you'll just be doing your offensive spins, slowing them down, and targeting their blade. So we'll have them attack in here. So you can see what I'm doing. Really just trying to minimize that damage, because you'll usually block at least one. But you want to spin it, slow it down so you can match their offensive pace, and try and defend with the blade first before this. Like I said, we're going to go back to Crusader here. It's a little bit different, as it always is. When you're fighting them, try and block the blade more. You'll still want to keep it high, but you may have to spin it and dodge a bit more when fighting them, because they do have that same reach around type of stuff. But it might work. So this is the biggest pro and con about Reaper. It is very prone to bad matchups. What I'm saying here, stuff like Knight kills Reaper, Monk kills Reaper, Berserker can kill Reaper if you don't know what you're doing quite enough. These matchups are incredibly tough for Reaper to deal with. Even Duelist is a pretty alright Reaper counter, in my opinion. What is so bad about having to fight these classes is they can shred your shield bars, especially in those higher level matchups where they'll be using plenty of voodoo. your shield bars will become non-existent. They will disappear right in front of your eyes. You won't be able to do anything. Given you won't see this as much outside of champion if they're really trying to cheese you too much. Something I found to work, and I know this isn't the best solution. Reaper does need a minimum shield size. It really does need a buff, but you can, if you are athletic enough, jump up and down and squat low while defending. That tends to work against Voodoo. It's not the most comfortable thing. Again, with Berserker, when they attack you, focus on blocking the head of the hammer, as that will deal the most damage. So you want to get that out of the way first. See that 200 hit damage, that's okay, that's fine. It's a little bit of chip damage, but nothing you can't handle. Monk's problem is just its speed. It can be very tricky to not have them hit your shield bars quickly. So they can be a kind of tough matchup for you. Other than that, Reaper does counter some classes a little bit, like, let's see, counters Samurai somewhat. It's got a little bit of an edge in that matchup. It's a somewhat alright counter to Dragoon. It does end up being a pretty even matchup at times. It counters Scourge and Ninja pretty hard. I've found that it's a lot better when you're trying to fight those classes. And like I said, it's pretty even with Duelist. Duelist can take it down sometimes, and Crusader, Reaper does counter it a bit. But Crusader is one of the worst classes, so we'll give it credit on that. Otherwise, that has been the end of this video. There's really not too much else to cover. I do have 2 other Masterclass video guides out by the time I'm pushing this, so if you want to learn anything about Knight or Duelist, go watch those. I will be trying to get either the Berserker or the Scourge video out next. Berserker and Scourge, they shouldn't be too long. As their own individual Masterclass videos, there's not really too much you can teach about them, so it's whatever. Join the Discord. I have it in my channel bio, and I should also have it in the description for this video. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. I'm trying to get this game out to more people, and I enjoy making the content, so give me a reason to. Has been IRONLIGHTS' 5-year anniversary yesterday, so happy birthday, IRONLIGHTS. Otherwise, that has been it for me. As always, I've been your host, the Unyielding. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.